What's good, guys? It's your boy Rocky from Rocky Comes True Gang Dogs, man. We're gonna do something different today and probably at 4 from this point on. We're gonna have story time. You know what I mean? We have story time about past dogs and things like that. But so go ahead. You know what I mean? If you smoke, go ahead and get your spliff ready, kick back, and enjoy this story about this dog that they call one-time winner pressure. One-time winner pressure, and now everything that we speaking of is past history. You know what I mean? We don't condone any illegal activities at all. Everything is just history, just so people can get knowledge on dogs that you haven't heard about and things like that coming from stories from people who've seen it hands on. You know what I mean? And like myself, been there and seen the things hands on with pressure. But anyway, guys, like I said, sit back, just enjoy this. We're gonna have a little talk about one-time winner pressure. Okay, one-time winner pressure. We're gonna put him up on the screen right there so you can see one-time winner pressure. That's him right there. One-time winner pressure. So funny story about this dog, man. Funny story about this dog. Had a good friend, was getting into the dogs and things like that. And he always wanted to, have the better dog and things like that. And he was just getting into it, you know what I mean? And he ended up getting a dog called Pressure, you know what I mean? He was a pup at the time. And what Pressure is stemming off of the line of dogs that he's stemming off of, I didn't I never really I can't say I don't like the dogs, you know what I mean? I can't say I don't like the dogs, but it's different things with people, how you raise the dogs, as I said, you know what I mean? And then just long story short, I had no faith in the line at all, you know what I mean? And to this day I'm still iffy about it. But I can say with those line of dogs, you can't cross it. And we'll get more in detail about that. With those line of dogs, you can't cross them to other dogs that get amazing dogs. Okay, so let's not ever forget that. But anyway, the line of dogs that it come from, okay? We're going to go ahead and put the pedigree on the screen right here. You know what I mean? On this pedigree, as you can see, okay, this dog is bred up off of a lot of Poland stuff. You know what I mean? They line bred Poland stuff, which the Poland stuff goes back into the Red Boy Snooty Cotton Bullet things. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You see Grand Champion Grunt in the bloodline and things like that. Going back into the Tex-Mex dog. A lot of those good dogs from back in the day, like Elwood Stoney and things, which is I'm kind of iffy about some of those lines of dogs that come from that anyway. But as you can see on the pedigree, it comes from Paula's train wreck, bred back into Paula's rump shaker. Okay, now I can't say about these two dogs. They'll be on the screen as well. Paula rump shaker and Paula's train wreck. I can't say Rump Shaker is a good producing dog, and Trainwreck over the years, seeing him being bred to different outcrosses of dogs, have produced some good things. You know what I mean? Have produced some good things, and but like I said, that's with a cross of the dogs. Now I can't say dogs of their cells or things like that. I don't believe there was ever tested or anything like that. To see the caliber of dogs they are. But anyway, you know what I mean? Back to one time winner pressure, back to him. I had no faith in this dog, you know what I mean? And once my boy acquired a dog, we did hands-on work with him. He was sitting on my yard for a while, and this is a yard years ago. Not the yard I got now. It's a yard years ago. He was on, you know what I mean? And I never, when the fact of schooling him and things like that, it didn't really show well, you know what I mean? What I can say is that he was a hard biting dog, you know what I mean? He was a hard biting dog. And I think that was one of the things that was the only aspect of what I liked it from him was the mouth that he shown. But it was just signs, you know what I mean? It was signs to me that I just didn't like, you know what I mean? And me as somebody just working the dog, hold on. Me and somebody just working the dog and you know, schooling the dog out, things like that. Um, you know, it wasn't. I didn't see what I wanted to see out of the dog. You know what I mean? Like I said, he wasn't my dog, so I really didn't. You know what I mean? Had a say of what could be done with him. You know what I mean? But deeper down into the story about one time winter pressure, he was a dog. It was one in particular night. You know what I mean? When he was going out, and I swear to you, man, it was hard to condition the dog and get the dog in a right state of mind, you know what I mean? And thinking, and I swear to you, going into it and me watching, you know what I mean, from the sideline and just thinking like, you know, I said, boy, I said, man, this dog right here is about to get his ass drugged all the way up and down this motherfucking arena, man. I said, it's just bad, you know what I mean? It's just bad. And you know, that night, you know what I mean? I got the shock of my life, guys. That night, I got the shock of my life. You know what I mean? I got the shock of my life because that dog, he did everything that a dog could possibly do that was fucking right. Okay? He did everything he could do that was right, and I was totally shocked about it, man. I mean, it fucked me up, man. It fucked me up, and I'm telling you, man, I was shocked. You know what I mean? And we're gonna drop a picture right here. Okay, that's a picture right there of that night after he won. And man, I'm telling you, I was amazed. You know what I mean? I was shocked. I was like, I said, man, it ain't no fucking way. You know what I mean? The what he shown, you know what I mean, and the effort that he put into to make it work, man. And I mean, he was going up against a dog that was bringing it, that was coming. You know what I mean? That was coming. And I'm talking about, man, listen, he batted it, motherfucker. And like I said, we don't condone none of that. Like I said, it's history, and you know, you would want to know, like I said, where when you see these dogs on online pages and things like that, you would want to know where it come from and how that win was made and things like that. So it's just strictly history, guys. We are, like I said before, we don't condone in there. We don't do no illegal activities here at Right Country Game Dogs. But anyway, man, that dog, it definitely surprised me, man. It definitely surprised me. Like I said, he went on to my friend ended up getting rid of the dog after the win. You know what I mean? Ended up getting rid of the dog after the win. I think on the online page right now it's saying one time winner something. One time winner pressure. So I'm gonna keep it at that. You know what I mean? Because that was the win with those guys. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't a win that was titled on the arm because we never changed it on the online page. You know what I mean? It was just the win. You know what I mean? It was just pressure. You know what I mean? Just McCoy's pressure at the time. But now it's WB's one time winner pressure or WM. Yeah, WM one time winner pressure. But yeah, man, you know what I mean? That dog surprised the fuck out of me. And like I said, with those line of dogs, you know what I mean? I seen dogs that come from them lines of dogs that didn't really turn out, you know what I mean? Especially if they was pure Poland dogs. I don't think they was really dogs that was turned out dogs. I don't think they were ever schooled or anything like that. They were just basically bred good. But I can say the dogs brung a lot of mouth into a lot of bulldogs in this era. You know what I mean? And without Paula Poland dogs, I believe a lot of people still use that stuff, and without a lot of this stuff like the Molly B dogs, the stuff that comes down from that stuff like Big Legs and things like that. A lot of these dog offsprings, you know what I mean, it wouldn't be here, you know what I mean, if it didn't come from Paula Poland like this. There was Stony dogs and things just coming down like that. It would not have been here. So big ups to Paula Poland. But coming back to it, you know what I mean, about those strain of dogs, you know what I mean. If you do cross those dogs out, I promise, man, those dogs right there, you got to cross them out with something good, you know what I mean, and they have a better advantage of getting something because, as I say, they do produce good dogs. Like Rocky Kennels Brady, for instance, he came off of train wreck, bred back to Little Train. You see what I'm saying? And that dog and Brady had offspring. You see what I'm saying? That produced my dog, Sir Royal. You see what I'm saying? And we bred that back into a Mayday dog to get Sir Royal. You see what I'm saying? So we do carry some of that blood here, but I definitely wouldn't go back into that. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put it back into it. You definitely lose out on a lot of good things if you go back into it. Believe if you double it up or anything like that. A lot of people like to keep it strictly lined, you know what I mean, and just having good dogs that's bred up good from the old school stuff and old school stock of dogs to preserve it. But other than that, though, guys, yeah, like I was saying, man, that's the story about one time winner pressure, man. One time winner pressure. I had a chance to have that dog on my yard, man, and he's one of the dogs that doesn't get recognized because at the end of the day, yeah, he's a one-time winner, but he's definitely putting good offspring out on the ground. I mean, right now, as you speak, he's dropping good offspring. You know what I mean? He's dropping good offspring out. So, guys, if you ever want to check that out, his peds and things online, link will be in the description. And if you want to hear about other dogs that we had and things like that, just let me know. And I'll do a story time on those guys. But as I said, that's Rock County True Game Dogs. That's a story time, a one-time winner pressure, man. One-time winner pressure. Rock County True